Strange times in which we live when old and young are taught falsehoods in school, and the person that dares to tell the truth is called at once a lunatic and fool. I am an overnight success after 50 years. I've been saying the same shit for 50 fucking years. Now people listen to me. Now they want to make movies about me. They want to do documentaries about me. But I've been saying the same goddamn thing for 50 years. The system's broken. There are no mentor systems anymore to speak of. When I go to universities, I ask the question, how many classes have you had in buying a business? No hands go up. How many classes have you had in selling a business? No hands go up. How many classes have you had in leadership? No hands go up. So the three most important goddamn things to living once you get out of school, nobody teaches. I had the privilege of speaking at the Naval Academy recently, United States Naval Academy, and they get classes not in the buying and selling, but they certainly get them in leadership. There are no such thing as work-life balance. There are only work-life choices, and you make them, and they have consequences. The young kids, the millennials, and to me, you're all millennials, because I call you all kids because I'm either old enough to be your father or your grandfather. They want time to do this. They don't want to have a mortgage. Why buy a car when I can borrow my mom's, etc., etc. I don't understand how kids 30 years old can still live at home, married, with children and still live at home. I realize there's some ethnicities that live at home forever. Those aside, you take turns who's gonna fuck. You fuck on Wednesdays and we fuck on Tuesdays? And what if you're married or you're to a moaner or a screamer? Then what the fuck do? You gotta wait till the parents leave the house? What the fuck? Do you realize how ludicrous on the face of that is? I mean, don't you get it? There's certain things that work and certain things that don't. Tough love works 100%. Extraordinary tough love works better. And vicious tough love works the best. I'm not interested in your problems. They're your problems. I'm not interested in whether you like me or you don't like me. The good news is 99.9% of all the people that have been helped by QLA I've never met. That's the good news. Because I'm antisocial. I don't like people. I wouldn't piss on your face if it were on fire.
I am a salesman that started out door to door. Door to door. And I took those sales skills and I improved them years after year after year, decade after decade, until I was selling countries. So I didn't realize I was a high-ticket closer, 40 years ago. September the 6th, 1969 was the day I was discharged from the military, 50 years ago. Success leaves clues. Some of the clues you don't want to accept, i.e. Steve Jobs was a miserable asshole. Warren Buffett is alive, but a cantankerous old man. Henry Ford I was a miserable asshole. And I can go on and on and on and on. If they weren't neurotic, they were psychotic. And sometimes they were both, but they were all mostly miserable human beings. Now, all my life, I've never given a birthday card, sent flowers, bought candies, the kinds of things that you've done all your life. And where has it gotten me? Millions love me, and I have more money than this room put together times 1,000. So when I point to various traits that the super high performance people that I've had the pleasure of working with, knowing, myself included, just think about, do you fit that bill? Do you have that trait? About 6 or 7 years ago, I decided to give 2/3 of my time pro bono, meaning for free, okay? And I do that because if I can reach the kids when they're youngest, and that doesn't mean you have to go to university. I didn't need it. Flunked out of university 3 times. Been arrested in jail 5 times. Done a lot of things I'm not proud of. But the bottom line is I understood success leaves clues more than most. And so I patterned, I modeled, I copied, I mimicked the super high performance people that I had the privilege of being around. In the beginning, it was the military. And when I got out, I was naturally gravitated. How to stay focused. Follow one course until successful. Most of the room would be infinitely more successful if they became more laser beam focused. Because being a six-figure hitter isn't a big fucking hitter. In the real world, it's not even a hitter. It's no money. And I'm here to tell you ways that you can be a 7-figure hitter, 8-figure hitter, and like myself, a 9-figure hitter. Because good things come to those who go out and fucking earn it. My mother was a prayer. She thought prayer would solve all her problems. Every time I got arrested, she'd pray some more. She'd say a rosary, a few novenas, our fathers, didn't help. I was rebelling against something else. I was rebelling against an extremely stern father, and he was an authority figure I didn't want. I did need, but I didn't want for sure. But the reason that I'm here is, see, I didn't know that males weren't all alpha males. All my dad's mates, chums, buddies, friends from the Second World War and the Korean War were fucking tough as nails. Hence, I come up with the the phrase snowflake, because the current generation, last generation and a half, melt under pressure. I read in the Wall Street Journal a few days ago, 14% of the people surveyed admit crying at work at least once a week. Crying. Some cry every day. 87% of the people on the planet, according to Gallup poll, are unhappy and living quiet lives of desperation. Now, money's not the only thing in life, but it's the only God thing anybody counts. Real generational wealth, hundreds of millions and billions, is made not with one transaction, but a series of transactions. And that's buying and selling companies. I'm here to show you. Now, a lot of people say I'm a Neanderthal. Well, I do have an extra 13th rib, which is a throwback to Neanderthal. My dad had a 13th rib, my grandfather had a 13th rib. So there is some truth. But a better story, and one that I like better, is I was born after they bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima 74 years ago. First bomb was dropped on the 6th, the second bomb was dropped on the 9th of August, and I was born on the 10th of August. There's a whole theory that's not popular anymore. For those of you that have seen the movie Godzilla, Godzilla came up because they were doing atomic testing, and then a little lizard turned into a big, ugly animal. Well, there was a theory back in the late 40s and early 50s that it changed the DNA of the planet for fucking ever, those 2 atomic bombs. Forever. And I was born right at the cusp of those atomic explosions. So for those of you that want to go back and study some history and Google fuck it, I am a product of those bombs. And the 13th extra rib I have, which is a throwback to Neanderthal, is because of those 2 bombs. I am different. There's no question about it.